Okay. Alright, I think we're live. Alright, it took a little bit. Sorry about that. Yes, a Typescript game engine. That's right. We're prototyping up in here. Welcome to the channel. January 16. Yeah, we're not really building for optimization here. We're just building for what is going to be really fast to get a finished product. And also just to me it's really easy program language to work with, and it's a really easy API to work with. But we have like this Minesweeper file that we've been working on for a few days now. I'm just trying to make it look relatively decent. And trying to make it so that I have to write as little code in here as possible, inside of this file as possible. And I have a few ideas on what to do for that. One of them starts with this. Just get some more space. So I want to try to remove a lot of this code here, because I don't want to have to do this calculation anytime I want to check for bounding box. So we're going to go to the engine, and here we say bounds equals, let's say we might be able to say drawable dot is mouse in bounds equals. Let's get the mouse. State dot mouse. Mouse dot x is greater than or equal to dx, and mouse dot x is less than dx plus with dot location, I believe, and this is dw, and mouse dot y. We don't want a semicolon there. We don't want curlies there. Mouse dot y is greater than or equal to dy. Mouse dot y. Ampersand here is less than dy plus dh. And d is just short for destination here. Maybe we just remove drawable.bounds. So we'll go to types, get rid of bounds. Plus data. And so we'll say CID mouse is in bounds. We could probably just get rid of a lot of this. We could just do this song. This song is next level, so annoying. Skip. And then, I mean, we could even turn it into a ternary. Now that it's simplified considerably. And just let's open the debugger, let's do a refresh. See if we still get the hover effect that we want. We do. So one thing I was thinking of doing is making so that this could omit here. How do I make it optional? Alright, let's create a new type in the engine. We'll say like export type with optionals. It will take a state data drawable of state data, and it's gonna have to be a type because what I want to do is say omit hello ancient occult secrets. Thank you. Headed into some field nation contracts. All right. Good luck with that. Yeah, I'm planning to do this just about every day. Either until the channel goes crazy or potentially get a job. Like I'm in between jobs right now and I just need something to do while I pass the time. So be drawable state data. I think I'm gonna say state extends global state. And then we'll combine this with new optional data. Why are you unhappy? Oh, because I didn't actually omit anything. Field nation. I'll put it in my search. I'll look after stream. Cool. Yeah, I mean freelancing is ideal because it usually gives the option for remote. So thanks for sharing that. I'll definitely look into it. And so when we go into sprite sheet, we can do something. You're in the DMV area for 80 jobs posted a day. Arkansas is like 3. It's good money, easy work. Yeah, I mean, I'm in the New Jersey / New York area. So I imagine that there's a lot of potential there. Maybe I can make this. I'm gonna take this, make this take like some drawable data. We could just do that. And maybe we can, it's gonna be engine that with optionals, and then it needs data. So hopefully we'd be able to remove the data property from this. And then for the 9 patch, we do something similar with, sorry, engine. Engine dot with optionals. Yeah. And that allows to also go into here and make this data go bye-bye. And then generally for drawables, we should be able to do with optionals. Keep forgetting to put engine dot. Hey Alex, let's do a startup. That is something I consider a lot. One thing that I always find myself trying to do is like language learning apps, but you know, I've been kind of getting into chess, and apparently like there's people who are really interested in learning chess, and I kind of feel like chess is, some of the options are really expensive. Like I was looking at chess.com and my god, it's like $10 a month, $15 a month. What is it? What language? What do you mean? It was chess.com. Yeah, chess.com is $10 a month. Yeah, I did. I said language learning. Yeah, I have 2 language learning apps on the App Store. Chess TD software. What's TD? Sorry, I'm not very good with acronyms and whatnot. Something to do with tournament? Yeah, let me link you one of my. I have an English learning app. Ah, I see. It's always so hard to find them because I don't advertise. This is an idea. Give me a moment. Click on this. It's fine. Where do I get a link? Why isn't there just a link? I could have sworn I... Okay. I found it. I'm joking. This is just one of my apps. It's like English learning through immersion. It's very simple, very basic. It's just like audio and pictures. But the idea is you learn English through very simple phrases and very simple pictures. I'm actually talking to 2 different chats right now. There's YouTube and there's Twitch. So I'm talking to the YouTube chat. I could try to figure out how to show both chats. Restream or Streamlabs? He's trying to... It's potential, it's possible to show them all in one if I maybe created some code. I don't want to do a plugin. Okay. I'm not sure how to do it. What other languages do I work with? In terms of programming languages, let me just finish this line before I completely forget what I'm doing. In terms of programming languages, I'm pretty agnostic. My previous job, I was doing Java. But I know I also help my fiance and her sister with their Python code and their R code. Back in the day, I used to do a lot of PHP. I did learn ASP.NET, so I know C# pretty well. And then pretty much anything that comes along with knowing web development, so like HTML, CSS. I know all of those. Look like mix-in. These ones, they're with optionals. Extends. Yeah, the extends, these are generics. And so I'm allowing the caller of this function to have a little bit of flexibility on the types they're allowed to use, so that I don't strongly define those types. But I do have some restrictions on what they need to include when they choose a type. TypeScript and Angular. Angular I have not touched for a very long time. I used to do Angular. I used to like Angular. To me, Angular is like very organized jQuery. So I really enjoyed it. Yeah, React is React is the winner for sure. I do dabble with like creating my own competing view engines every now and then. Because in theory, it is possible to potentially create a view engine in Python, because Python's getting pretty popular and a lot of data engineers only know Python and don't want to learn 5, 6, 7, 8 different languages just to do web development. And so if you could create some kind of a view engine in Python only, you could open the world of web development to a lot more developers. Do I know Zone.js? I don't know Zone.js. What's a zone? Dart. execution context persists across async tasks. You can think of it as thread level storage. Yeah, okay, interesting. It's interesting, for sure. Very rare use case, very niche. A view engine, I would consider like React a view engine. Like you write a whole bunch of code and it drives your view, it drives your client. Similarly, there's Vue.js, there's Solid, there's what's the other one? React. There's one more, Svelte. These are all what Angular is also I would consider like a view engine. It's just like it's code that helps you manage your views. MVC, essentially, the V part, anything that's considered the view part of an MVC framework. That's what I mean by view engine. Okay. Do I have any more datas? Data. Get rid of that now. Data is no. We can get rid of those. Okay, that's all of them. Excellent. Angular uses Zone.js, so we have an actual DOM. We will have further virtual DOM for framework. Right, that is what view engines do. Yeah, I agree with that. I would say like a view engine, most of them will create some kind of virtual DOM for you. You manipulate that virtual DOM, it detects the changes in that virtual DOM and then applies those changes to the actual DOM. A view engine should certainly consider that aspect. Yep, exactly. An in-memory tree for the framework. So we have decreased the amount of code a little bit here. I think the other thing I want to do is create like a tile map. Because like this right here, we have like 130 elements. More than 130. I can't do math. Hold on, give me a second. 150 elements. We have like 150 individual elements being drawn here. We might want to keep it this way because we want to do like hover effects. A tile map, if we didn't want to do hover effects, a hover effect, like if I have the mouse down and I go over it, it shows that I can click it, essentially. So we could keep these as 150 individual components being drawn, or we could just make it one component that's being drawn. Obviously one component being drawn would be faster, but something that might be interesting and useful later is some kind of a debugger. So let's try to set up some kind of debugging helper so that it could show us like red outlines for everything that's collidable, essentially. Let's consider committing what we have. We don't want to commit DS stores. Let's go to the ignore. Just minimize these. Get ignore. Bottom. No. Capital G. Just be custom .ds underscore store. There needs to be a dot. Not a slash. It's the status. I modified it. Dang, I've already committed it. Darn. do an rm.ps. Sorry. No, not sorry. What? Oh, it is deleted. Okay, cool. We'll add get dash in. Make data optional. Cool. Alright. Interesting spot. I'm just like taking in my stream management output. Okay, cool. So a debugger. We probably want to do something with the engine initialization. Actually, another thing we want to do is make that canvas go through engine. That'll make sense when I do it. And then we also want to pass engine to draw to events. That'll also make sense when we do it. So let's just show what debug state looks like, and then we'll figure out how to write the turning it on and off. So that's going to be in the engine. Let's just close other files for now. And pretty much what we're going to do is, after we've drawn everything, we're going to say context. Do you run in Central Park? I used to. Right now I actually physically live in New Jersey. But when I did live in New York, I did run in Central Park once in a while. But yeah, I just moved here 6 months ago, which is why I ended up quitting my job. Very challenging to commute for 2 hours one way just to get to work. Excuse me. Stroke style equals red. And then we'll say context.rect dx dy. How do I? This is at the wrong spot. dx dy dw dh. Context.stroke. Just see if it looks okay. Okay, so this is everything we can collide with. Apparently some kind of something problematic here. Let's comment it out for now. The other thing I want to do, let's do a refresh. Other thing I want to do is draw a frame rate. But that might happen when we do render equals. And so what we might want to do here is say const before equals this before. Can you check Discord when you have a moment? Yeah. Oh, hi. Welcome to the Discord. Do I need to like accept? Oh no, you're in. Yeah, I'm still getting used to Discord. It's not software that I am very familiar with. But yeah, thanks for joining. Alright, what am I doing? I want to do post after equals date.mail. And then I want to do context.fill style is red. Context text line is right. Context baseline is bottom, and then context font equals 24 pixel carrier blue, and then context fill text. Okay. Is it? Okay, I see your link, Alex. Just give me a moment. I thought you were just referring to. Do you mind if I look more deeply into it after the stream? And I can get back to you on it. It looks really cool. I like the logo for sure. The colors for sure. I actually do use, I have used Preply, and there is a fair amount to be desired. I'll just send you a little note. Thanks for sharing it. Let me just put it in my notebook. Cool. And then there's the other thing. This is like my even longer running language learning app that I've been working on. This is like my passion project that I've been working for like 10 years. And this is like, if I want to learn something new, this is usually the project I do it in. I'll share the link in chat. Does it even have a link to the app? Yeah, only the Google Play link works right now. And then let me put field nation. I don't even know how to add someone by like username. Okay, thanks, Alex. I'll let you know. I could probably do like 3 days in office. I'll let you know. That's really kind, thank you. Oh, hey, my cousin joined. Alright, back to it. We're filling the text. Now we want to figure out the frames per second here. We're just gonna put like a to-do for now. I'll just say context.canvas.width, context.canvas.height. I'll just do a refresh just to see if it's drawing, which it is. Excellent. We'll put a little bit of padding. We'll make it a little bit smaller. We'll create a variable called FPS. Just say 60 for now. The dream. 60 frames per second. No, it's too small. Let's also stroke. We'll do a stroke text. And then we'll do this right before that, and then we'll do this here. I'll just make it blue. Cool, didn't work. Stroke style. Okay. Maybe 24 was the best. Let's do black and white maybe. Fill with black, stroke with white. Alright, well, I'm not too concerned about it. So we basically, what do we want to do here? Maybe we don't want to do it like this. Maybe what we want to do is start equals date.now. And what we'll do, and then we'll also do let frames equals 0. And then in here we'll do before minus state.now. No, sorry. Before minus start at divided by frames. I'll do frames plus plus here, and we'll do math.floor. Okay, and so we're getting about 40 frames per second at the moment. Potentially, I'm curious if changing this might make it faster. Okay, well, we're basically limited at 40. But when we do this debug here, where was it? What have I done? Oh, maybe we're doing the math wrong. Because there's no reason it should be going up. So we're figuring out how many seconds per frame when we want to figure out how many frames per second. So I feel like this wouldn't be right though. I think we have to also divide by 1,000. Before is the latest date. Start at is when we started. I'll just keep getting bigger. Divide that by 1,000 to get how many seconds. 3 frames per second. Ideally, the frame should be going up like crazy. Crazy faster than the second should be. Like the frame should be going up like 60 times per second. It's probably like an order of operations then. Okay. Alright, Alright, cool. Now we're getting 24 frames per second. That's great. I think that's pretty average for the Chrome browser. I think that's like just about the max you can get. At least when you're using, what's the word? When you're using the draw request animation frame. So let's figure out which of these is taking forever. Oh, I know why. Context.begin path. Okay, so the problem was if you don't do begin path, your context will keep accumulating things to draw. And so begin path resets that draw path so that when you do eventually draw, you're just drawing one thing rather than everything that you accumulated. So we're actually doing like some kind of like n+1 every single time we drew. We probably would have out of memory really quickly as well. So we are getting 24 frames per second. We're seeing all the outlines for everything that we can collide with. Our button, I don't know if this is the button or the... Okay, we can see the exact box of the button. I also don't want to make a surprise face unless we're low enough. So... let's add that code. Let's go to the Minesweeper. And what we'll do is find the what is this? Let's just start a menu. Hopefully it's somewhere close to here. Cool. If it's down and state.mouse.location.y is greater than menu type. We only want the face to be nervous if we're actually about to click on something dangerous. So my mouse is down right now, and he does not make his face unless we're actually about something dangerous. Okay, so now we want to conditionally turn on and off the debugging state. Let's actually look for FPS equals, which is in the engine. FPS equals, let's just do the stroke. Or the fill, sorry. Red. Excellent. I think this is also, there's the risk with doing it this way. We will, I mean, there is the potential risk of overflowing our number of frames. That's one risk. The other risk is if there are spikes, we won't know it when they happen because it's taking like a running average, and the running average is just going to be so much more powerful. But if this running average ever starts to dip, then we know that we're generally doing something slow. I think that'll be important. But maybe we make it part of the renderable config. We just say debug is a boolean. And so that when we go to Minesweeper, we should have an error again. Here we can say debug is true. And in the engine, we need to be able to pass down that information. And there is a major change I was considering making here. Rather than doing ordered arguments, I was thinking of doing a config argument for these functions. Because it takes so many arguments, putting them in order every time is just kind of frustrating. So I will go to types and create a new engine type called interface draw all config. Go to engine, copy these, paste them here, make this take state data, and make state extends global state. So we can go into here, just say config is engine dot state unknown. We can just do context, drawables, signals, state. Just extract it all. Well, we can actually use this here. Cool. And then we're gonna have to do this that way as well. The context, state, signals. I guess drawables is drawable dot children. Get rid of this stuff. Let me do this. Looks better. I almost wonder if we should do the children drawing earlier. Probably not. This is another one. We're gonna have to say state is that, signals is that, context is context, drawables is that. I don't have a reference to dates or data, so do a refresh just to make sure we have no errors. Cool. And then we want to do the same thing for draw. This would be the draw config. So there's the draw all config. There's the draw config. And then it's just a drawable. An array of them. And it's just draw. So we can go back into the engine. And just take that out, say this state data. And it's engine dot. And then we'll just import everything we need. Similarly here, drawable. Just close it out. this would be just something like this at least. Oh, what am I talking about? We didn't change this one yet. Drawable does not exist on type. Draw config. Did you mean draw? Yes, I did mean that. Thank you. And then this one's gonna be drawable draw. Export interface drawable draw config. And it's gonna be this. And then we'll do state extends global state data. Then we'll go to find draw. Not here, engine. Oh no, yeah, here. We'll look for the draw function. Drawable. Let's go to source. Let's look for the draw function. Here it is. So we're gonna say config is drawable draw config state data. And so in here, something like this that we were doing earlier. And then let's do a refresh, see if things are working. We are not working at all. Cannot read properties undefined, reading debug. Okay, so let's just step through all the files and see if we're getting errors anywhere. At least type errors. Okay, and we are. Just deconstruct. Draw. Context. Keep stepping through, make sure there's no other errors. We don't care about that one yet. Do another refresh, and we're back. All right. And then we actually need to look in to types, and then part of these configs. We're going to try to figure out what's common between them. Let's do export interface common draw config. And we're just going to take what's common between them and just say that this extends common draw config state. Do we need data? Just need state. extends global state. So let's do that. That. And that. So we can get rid of that. We can get rid of that. Maybe we can technically get rid of this, but let's not. Let's see. And the reason we did this is because we want to easily add new configurations. So debug would be one of them. And so now we have to step through everything and add the debug anywhere it needs it. Which is going to be the renderable dot debug. It's possible that just spreading makes things easier for us here. Never mind. Code's unhappy with that decision, so we won't do it. Debug is, it's just going to be debug, which is a variable we have not captured yet. We will capture it from here. Similarly, and then we will capture it from here. Then when we draw this red box in the engine, just say if renderable debug, do all of this. If debug, do this. Okay, we do a refresh, it's gone. If we go to Minesweeper, close others, and now we have to wonder why it is gone. It's probably because we're not passing down debug somewhere, so we need to step through and find all the type errors. Here's one. That comes from here. Take a look at sprite sheet. That's fine. Tile map's fine. All right, let's do a refresh. Cool. Still doesn't show. Okay, just a little bit of extra there. We do have an error here. Debug, debug. Cool. So now we're drawing the outlines. Cool. So we will be following git status, git add dot init. We can now control debug state. Okay. All right, let's go back to Minesweeper, see what other interesting problems we want to solve. So make the canvas go through the engine. So if we look at 9 patch, there's actually this concept of a back canvas, but it's like happening at a top level, which is less than ideal. And so ideally, what I would want is to maybe have this here, and it would say get canvas maybe this is the point where I need to say like this.id, and then we need to go to types and by ID and string. And we'll just say that's part of the optional. It's or, not comma. And then say ID question string. And then in the engine, we find drawable. And in here, we'll say ID is crypto.get or random UID. I'm actually surprised that it's not giving us an error for data. I guess data's undefined. It's allowed to be undefined, maybe? So that's why it's fine. I don't know. So we got an error. That's this.id. Who is this? So get canvas should be engine.getCanvas. Engine should be coming from here. Engine. And then we need to go to here, go to here, go to here. Let's say engine is engine. Engine.instance. It's instance. And what can an engine instance do? It can play, it can get canvas by ID. It's going to return canvas, which is an HTML canvas element, and it's going to return context, which is a canvas rendering context 2D. And so, yeah, the 9 patch is happy with that change. We can get rid of this giant if. Get rid of that. Okay, so now we need to start passing down this concept of an engine. And then this is going to go into the engine. Where's the engine? And we'll find play. And here we'll do paste. And here we'll do this, 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 this. No semicolon here. The ID is a string. And then we just need to keep track of those canvases. Context, canvas. Map equals is going to be a record of string to object of canvas HTML canvas element context canvas rendering context 2D. Close the arrow, get rid of that P. We don't need this anymore, that's already handled. So what we need to do is say if not ID in canvas map, then we'll do this stuff, and then we'll say let's not strongly type this, or do or null or defined. Oh, that's the issue. We'll do ID and we'll also do if ID here. We'll return canvas map sub ID. Let's do it like this. Let's just say const real ID equals ID or empty string. That way we want to do this. We can do real ID and real ID. And then we'll say canvas sub map sub real ID equals canvas context. And then we'll say that this is required. And then say that this has to exist. Let's just see what happens. Cool, excellent, beautiful. Can't read, yes, because we're not passing down the engine yet. So engine, I feel like it's gonna have to be passed down through here. This engine dot instance. What am I working on now? I'm just trying to make the Minesweeper code a lot cleaner. Trying to make the engine do as much work as possible. And then also making it so I don't have to pass. I don't have to keep track of this engine variable. I can easily get access to it. So yeah, generally just making the engine do as much as reasonable. And here, that returns the engine instance. So we gotta say const engine equals. And then we return engine. And then we gotta say that this is an engine.instance. And then this will be an engine. And then we need to just change the order. We're just gonna move this code to be higher up. Remove that type error. We're gonna have to take the engine as an arg here and the engine as an arg here. Take the engine as an arg here. And that engine comes from here. Similarly, engine. There's no type errors there, no type errors there. That's fine. This one's, we're just gonna do those. That way there's no error there. Refresh. Okay. And so let's find start. What did I call it? Oh, here it is. So we want start to no longer return the engine because we don't want people referencing it this way, which means we no longer return the engine. Instead, people have to reference it through the draw functions. So if we go back to Minesweeper, go back up to here, we're gonna have to take the engine as an argument. Engine.instance. Then we have to go to onClick, and we need to reconfigure these as well to take engines and to take multiple configs. We want this to work essentially. This is a good demonstration of why we use Typescript, because we'll know that this won't work until we resolve this type error. And so let's just close others. This one's just gonna be essentially this, except we'll call it drawable event config, and then we'll use that instead. And then we'll go to onClick, not that onClick. And we'll do CID config, and this is drawable event config state data. I didn't make it take data. That's fine. It doesn't need data. DT greater than dot. And so when I look in the engine, those should be errors now. And instead of just passing in state, I need to pass in context, debug, engine, signals. And I have to do it again down here. And then I need to double check in Minesweeper. What else did we break here? Go back down here. That's not right. I just need to decompose it like that. Okay, so let's step through, look for any red errors. Refresh. Click. Let's just double check that things are still working as expected. Oh my god, it got me. Oh no. So what was I wrong about? Oh, I already had two. I already had two for this one. This one was wrong. Gets me every time though. So let's take a look at the Minesweeper. Now we have to go through the engine to get the back canvas, which we do see it drawing, right? Yeah, it is drawing. In two different instances, so that's good. Pass event, pass engine to events, we do that now. So use the engine more. Cool. Let's continue to look to see if there's places that we can reduce the code or reuse the code even. Excuse me. So we get the win state. I guess we could ternary this. I don't think it's better. It's not necessarily better, at least. Get cell source. This is the column and row of the cell. I think that's fine as it is. Finding the dangers, that helps with restarting. That's revealed less and then started at. Reveal neighbors. Okay, I gotta take a break. Got the 9 patch on the spreadsheet. At a certain point, like we start over optimizing. Once we get there, I'll definitely stop with Minesweeper and do a different game. But we can remove the debug. We can remove the signals, drawables. Stay with height. We'll go to start and say that this is optionals. With engine optionals. Find with optionals. And we'll rename this. Rename with draw bubble optionals of export type with engine optionals. Do you want to give some more context about the crying? You want to chat about it? Talk about it? I think what we're gonna do is say engine with optionals is omit engine state. We'll just omit it, right? Just omit it. Okay, it's just config. And this needs to I extends global state. I thought that we said this is config. And can we just say drawable with optionals is drawable? Just do state and data here, and just do state and data here, and do extends global state. And so let's go through all the files, resolve any errors that we have. This would be CID engine with optionals, and just give it the state directly. Go down to here. We'll just call this config for now, but then we'll say const renderable is a engine.config .config of state signals is an empty array. Let's try to understand why it's unhappy. Debug is missing in type. Yes, that is correct. Go back to config and make debug optional. Cool. And then does it still work? Excellent. I think this is where, no, it can't be there. It's gotta be there. This one's covered. Okay, cool. Alright, so we do have some error states here. Yes, because we remove some types. So we'll go to engine. Go down to here. That's fine. What was it? Engine with optionals. Optionals. So I think this will be DID drawable with optionals, and we'll just give it the state and data directly. Go back up to here. And take a look into here. We'll say that this is optional. Yeah. We'll go step into this, and it's going to be CID drawable with optionals. And that's why we had to do it this way. Good. Do this. And just make it so it doesn't extend. Curly, save it. Go back to the 9 patch. I don't even know if we use these anymore. We do. That's fine. Okay, let's step through just a few files. This is for sprite sheet, so we'll take a look there. We'll do CID, drawable with optionals. We'll copy that. We will delete. Nope. Hey. Paste that. We'll go into here. We'll do DT curly, save it. Let's take another step through everything. Make sure there's no type errors anywhere. I don't care about that. Let's do a refresh. We lost on the first one. Cool. We can win. And all that work. All we were trying to do was just simplify the types. Make it so that we didn't have to pass in one more argument here. All right, let me commit. It's time for me to take a break. I'll be back in about 50 minutes, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah, thanks for joining in, y'all. I'll see you in a bit.